Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime and science fiction on this Monday with episodes of Wanted, The Man Everybody Liked. Also an episode of Calling All Cars from 1937, The Alibi. And an episode of The Big Story from 1948, The Lottery Racket. And the CBS Radio Workshop with a wonderful adaptation of the Robert Heinlein science fiction story, The Green Hills of Earth. And we wrap it all up with another episode of Lum and Abner. That's all straight ahead on this Monday. This is the 21st day of July, 202nd day of the year. We have 163 days left until we get to 2026. Confederate forces won victory at Bull Run on this date in 1861 in the first major battle of the Civil War. The first train robbery west of the Mississippi pulled off on this date in 1873 by Jesse James and his gang. In the Monkey Trial, John T. Scopes found guilty on this date in 1925 of violating Tennessee state law by teaching evolution. The Senate ratified the North Atlantic Treaty, on this date in 1949. And as astronaut Gus Grissom was taking off on the second U.S. human spaceflight in Mercury 4, the Liberty 7, President Kennedy signed a bill to put NASA on the path to the moon.
It is a pleasure to sign today the authorization bill for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. This bill has been approved by the Congress in an overwhelming manner and demonstrates united support for a new and vigorous space program submitted to our country by the Vice President as Chairman of the National Aeronautic and Space Council, sent to the Congress by me as President, and given overwhelming support by members of both of our parties who are committed, as we all are, to seeing to it that the United States occupies an important position in the race into the far reaches of space. It is especially fitting that this bill should be signed on the day that our second astronaut, Captain Virgil Grissom, who I spoke to this morning after he had made his successful flight. I think it's most important that we should have once again this emphasis on the leadership which our fellow Americans are showing in this field, their courage, and also the strong scientific support that they've received from the entire American scientific community. It's significant also that this flight was made before the eyes of the watching world, with all the hazard that entails. As our space program continues on even more ambitious missions, it will continue to be this nation's policy to use space for the advancement of all mankind and to make free release of all scientific and technological results. And therefore it is with great pleasure that we sign it today.
Now, Gus Grissom's quarter-hour flight went well until just after splashdown, the hatch cover blew prematurely. Grissom recovered safely, but the capsule sank, and that capsule wouldn't be recovered until 1999. WorldCom filed for bankruptcy on this date in 2002, to that date the largest bankruptcy in U.S. history. 4 terrorist bombings occurring exactly 2 weeks after the similar July 7th bombing took place on this date in 2005, targeting London's public transportation system. All 4 bombs failed to detonate. All 4 suspected suicide bombers escaped. In 2011, NASA's space shuttle program ended with the landing of Space Shuttle Atlantis at NASA's Kennedy Space Center. Eric completed the first solo human-powered circumnavigation of the world on this date in 2012. On this date in 2016, Donald Trump accepted the GOP nomination at the party's convention in Cleveland.
I humbly and gratefully accept your nomination for the presidency of the United States.
Trump would win not only in 2016, but 2024. On this date in 2024, by the way, President Biden announced he would not seek a second term and withdrew from the 2024 election. Passing away on this date in history, poet Robert Burns, actor Basil Rathbone, TV host Dave Garroway. He had some radio roots as well, but he's primarily remembered as the first host of the Today Show. Astronaut Alan Shepard passing away on this date. Robert Young, best known for Father Knows Best and Marcus Welby, but had a litany of other roles in radio, television, and movies. Wrestling announcer Lord Alfred Hayes. He was with the WWE for a number of years. He was a manager before he went to the WWE. And singer Tony Bennett passing away on this date 2 years ago today. Birthdays on this date include British journalist and media owner, the man behind Reuters, Paul Reuter. Also Nobel laureate Ernest Hemingway, Canadian author Marshall McLuhan, violinist Isaac Stern, K-Star, The Wheel of Fortune. Also, the wonderful Don Knotts.
I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.
I have been called brave. What is brave? Let me clarify this. Of course, we all know that it is short for bravery. That goes without even being said. But it is also a symbol of another thing. It is a symbol of doing one's duty no matter what is scaring him personally. Take your World War II. There were many heroes in World War II. What were your heroes? Who were your heroes? Let me clarify this. Thank you for having me.
A number of amazing comic movies, and of course the role that defined him as Barney Fife in the Andy Griffith Show. Don Knotts, born on this date in history. We always talk about multiple generation wrestlers. Well, the first generation wrestler, father of Bob Orton Jr. and the grandfather of Randy Orton, Bob Orton, born on this date in history. The former Attorney General Janet Reno, born on this date, and this is also the birthday of the very, very funny Robin Williams. All those folks born on this date who have left this mortal coil.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
He's now known as Yusuf Islam, but we knew him best as Cat Stevens, the singer, 77 years old today. Also turning 77, Gary Trudeau, the author of Doonesbury, a great comic strip. John Lovitz is turning 68 today.
Hello, my name is Tommy Flanagan, and I'm a member of Pathological Liars Anonymous. In fact, I'm the president of that organization. Yeah, that's who I am. I didn't always lie. No, I used to tell the truth. But then one day I told a lie and I got away with it. Yeah. Told my parents I had a brother that they'd never met. They got mad at me for not telling them sooner. And they kicked me out of the house. Yeah, that's what happened.
From a 1985 appearance on The Tonight Show, courtesy of JohnnyCarson.com, John Lovitz. He had so many funny things he did, but I loved his Tommy Flanagan, yes, and his wife, Morgan Fairchild, yeah. John Lovitz, 68 today. From 40 Days and 40 Nights, Josh Hartnett is 47. From National Treasure and The Hangover, Justin Bartha is 47. From Orange is the New Black and Jane the Virgin, Diane Guerrero is 39. And the younger brother of Macaulay Culkin, Rory Culkin, is 36. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 21st day of July as their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday,
happy birthday, happy birthday, happy
We'll get underway on this Monday Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with an episode of a summer program from NBC Wanted, July 21st, 1950.
Do you know how old the school building in your community is? If it's over 25 years old, the chances are that it's woefully inadequate. Join with the groups in your community working for better school conditions. Remember, better schools build a stronger America.
What Somebody Knows couldn't do, this show did. Wanted, 75 years ago, July 21st, 1950. The story of Philip Feranda, the man who everybody liked.
Wanted. Wanted for murder. This is the program that brings you for the first time on the air a nationwide manhunt in action. The actual facts to date on a man wanted. From the record, hear the on-the-spot reports of the actual people involved. Real names are used. Nothing is withheld. No one is protected. Here are the dramatic eyewitness accounts of a man wanted. Wanted for murder. And now, Wanted's on-the-spot investigator, Walter McGraw.
Good evening. Once again, I'm going to take you with me on a manhunt for a fugitive who is now at large somewhere in this country. Tonight, we're not seeking a simple gangster, but an alleged killer. I've traveled all over the country finding the real people who are involved, and they will talk directly to you. A full description of our method of operation is in this week's issue of People Today. Remember, the people you hear talking are not actors, but the actual witnesses of this crime of violence. They are putting themselves on the spot to give you first-hand information about a man who is wanted. Tonight's case concerns one Philip Feranda, a man whom neighbors said could have no enemies. But listen, these are the facts.
The date, May 14th, 1949. The location, a quiet suburban neighborhood in Cleveland, Ohio.
The voices you hear next are those of the actual people who, through no fault of their own, are involved in the case of the man everybody liked, Philip Feranda. The first voice you hear is that of a 15-year-old girl, a neighbor.
My name is Nancy Harrison, and I was in bed, and I heard voices outside. I didn't know exactly what it was. I thought maybe it was the kids playing outside. They were very loud, and one of the voices said, "Help, help, don't do it." And then there was a shot. It sounded like backfire, and then, just at that moment, my mother walked in the room, and I asked her what had happened.
I'm Nancy Harrison's mother, and after we heard what we thought was the backfiring of a car, I looked out the side window and saw a light flash off at Feranda's side door. A man with a gray hat ran out the door. I quickly ran to our kitchen and asked my husband if he had heard a shot. He said he thought it was a car backfiring, but I told him I thought something was wrong over at Feranda's. So we both ran out in the backyard and looked around. We couldn't see anything. So we went over to Feranda's side door and knocked and called without receiving any answer.
I am Mr. Harrison. When we received no answer from the side door, I went to the front door and looked in. Happened to see Mr. Feranda's body laying in the hallway. I tried the front door then, and the door was locked. So I went around to the side door and walked in, and Mr. Feranda's body was laying in the hallway right next to the bedroom door. I felt his pulse, and he didn't have no pulse beat at all. He was just taking his last gurgle when we walked in. When I told my wife, "I think you'd better call the police, because Phil is dying."
This is Patrolman Mack, radio dispatcher for the Cleveland Police Department. Upon receiving a call from Mrs. Harrison, I dispatched cars 102, 271, and homicide car 478 with Detectives Lockwood and Morrow.
I am Vincent T. Morrow of the Cleveland Police Department Homicide Unit. We found the body of Philip Feranda lying in this hallway. The hallway was quite small, body of Feranda taking up nearly the entire hallway. Feranda was a large man, 250 pounds, and he was apparently dead on our arrival. Examination of the body, we found 2 black eyes and a large cut over the right eye, which could have been done by a blunt instrument, such as a blackjack. Further examination, we found a bullet hole in the upper left chest. After our examination, the body was taken to our county morgue for further examination by the coroner.
I'm Dr. S.R. Gerber, coroner of Cuyahoga County, Cleveland, Ohio. The examination revealed that this man died as a result of a gunshot wound of the left side of the chest with perforation of the left upper and lower pulmonary lobes and laceration of the hilus and branches of the pulmonary artery, resulting in a left pneumothorax. Further examination revealed defense marks on the left hand, which was indicated by fractures of the fingernails and abrasions of the fingers. This information was turned over to the homicide unit of the Cleveland Detective Bureau.
My name is Detective Harold C. Lockwood of the Homicide Bureau of the Cleveland Police Department. In connection with this investigation, we felt that the victim had put up an extremely valiant fight for his life. Upon examination of the backyards in the vicinity, we found in a freshly dug garden plot what appeared to be a footprint, a man's footprint. We made a plaster cast of this print, and same was preserved for evidence. Further examination in the backyards, we found a dirty gray felt hat, a man's hat, with all identifying features cut out.
These, then, were the simple facts. Police reasoned from the marks on the dead man's body he had fought for his life. But who was the intruder? Leads? They had little to go on. Indistinct footprints in the soft dirt of the yard and a soiled gray felt hat. First, the Cleveland police tried to establish a possible motive. They talked to the dead man's wife. She had been spending the evening with a Mr. and Mrs. Shields. The Shields family were boarding with the Ferandas.
I am Sophie Feranda. That night, the Shields and I had gone visiting, and we stayed quite a long time, and when we came home, it was close to 11. And when I came in the house, there I saw the blood on the floor in the hallway there. And I just stood there and looked at it, sort of stunned, and then the detectives kept asking us questions where he had been, what we had done that night. And I just stood there trying to answer him right, and it was just terrible. And I looked around the rest of the house and noticed that there was nothing stolen. But I didn't start crying. I was just too numb or shocked or something. I didn't even cry at that time.
Robbery as a motive was discarded. But what motive could there be? Phil Feranda had no enemies. Puzzled police returned again to the only 2 items of tangible evidence. First, the footprints.
The outline of the foot is indistinct. The Bureau of Scientific Investigation is unable to verify the size or shape of the foot in question.
Now the police had one slim lead left. The soft gray felt hat found in the rear of the Feranda home.
This is Mary Cowan, medical technologist at the Cuyahoga County Coroner's Office Laboratory. In May of 1949, I examined a gray felt hat which had smudges of dirt and grease on the hat band of the type that would be found in garages, suggesting that the hat had been worn by a garage mechanic. Later, we determined that the hat was manufactured by the Portis Hat Manufacturing Company of Chicago.
My name is C.R. Schwedler. I work for Portis Style Industries, Chicago, Illinois. The chief of police of Cleveland, Ohio, called me regarding this case and asked if I could give him the name of Portis dealers in Cleveland and nearby towns. I told him I would be pleased to cooperate and did give him the name of 5 accounts that handle Portis hats in Cleveland, as well as 1 account in Elyria, Ohio.
Now the job was to find the owner. Detectives spread out, covering all 6 stores, asking one question.
We figure this guy's a truck driver. Maybe works in a garage or has a mechanic's job. There were grease marks on the hat. He wears size 7.5.
You got a customer who fits that description?
Naturally, each store had dozens of them, but they were cash customers. Dead end. So police took another angle. One of those stores was located in Elyria, Ohio. The dead man had worked for the Osher Brothers Meat Company of Elyria. Coincidence? Perhaps. But detectives played the long shot. Question: had the murder stemmed from some trouble at work?
Feranda have trouble? You kidding? He was a friend to everyone. Not just like any guy is friendly. Feranda was especially friendly. You see, he was just a big overgrown kid. Not grown up, you know. Every time he met a stranger, he'd write their names down in a little black book. Boy, was he proud of that little black book.
A little black book. The man everybody liked kept a little black book. A search was instigated, and the book was found. And in it,
297 names were listed.
Question: was one of those 297 people the killer? Each and every one was brought in for questioning.
Sure, I knew Feranda. Saw him a couple times walking down the street. He stopped me one day and wanted to write my name down. He said for future reference, a real friendly guy.
Yeah, he used to come in the restaurant all the time where I worked. He used to kid me about wanting to call me up, but he wasn't that kind of a guy.
Feranda. Oh, yeah, he must have been the guy I met in the streetcar.
297 names, 296 blanks. Then a lead.
My name is Alex Vicuroff, work at Reenie's Food Town as a cheese cutter. I knew Feranda for 2 years' time, talking to him once or twice during the week or so that he delivered meat. He had got himself into plenty of trouble. He had taken some money from the company which he had not returned. He also sold meat that was too old to be sold. And any man that does this will get himself into trouble sooner or later.
Meat that had passed the legal time for sale could be called black market meat. This was a new angle. It seemed unlikely to the police that Feranda was mixed up with the racket boys, but they laid out lines to the underworld for information. Was the name Feranda familiar to the boys? They got an answer.
Never heard of the guy.
Now the underworld was out. Police tapped lines trying to find out where Feranda had marketed the meat. To hot shots with big dough? Did he have a private racket? What was his angle? They found it.
My name is Lucille Evie, and I was acquainted with Mr. Phil Feranda. My estimation, he was one of the most lovable persons. Well, in fact, you'd even say lovable, because he was just like a big kid. Anything at all that you wanted done, well, he certainly did it for you. During the meat shortage, I remember particularly if you didn't have any meat, and I remember at the time, I was pregnant, and he was so worried that I wasn't going to have enough vitamins that he just went to all butcher shops trying to get some meat for me. His life with his wife was just wonderful. He just would rush home, and all he thought about was improvements for the home, and as for his wife and for his baby.
Once again, police learned one thing. Nobody would murder Feranda. So police started all over again, this time legwork. Back to the scene of the crime, they began the routine of questions.
Didn't Feranda mention any enemies at all?
Wasn't he ever angry at anyone in town?
Well, didn't you see any strangers hanging around his house?
Hundreds questioned, and they finally struck pay dirt.
My name is Charles Geiger, and one afternoon we were playing baseball in the lot at about 4 o'clock when we noticed a strange man driving around the Feranda house. This man drove around in his car and stopped in front of the Feranda house and looked at it a minute and drove around again. And then he drove around again and stopped on the side of the Feranda house. This man was tall, dark, and handsome, and if we ever saw him again, we'd surely know him.
Break number 1. A group of children at play established the fact that a dark-haired, tall man had been seen in the neighborhood shortly before the murder, and he had been casing the Feranda home. Casing it for what? This sounded like an underworld job, a planned job by an experienced operator. Once again, police laid out pipelines, dragging the underworld for information.
Okay, wise guy, give. Did anyone you know fade from sight lately?
Come on, girlie. Did any of your boyfriends disappear last week?
Cut it, kid. Talk. Who's hot?
One answer.
Information is expensive, and so am I. I have inside information that Mrs. Shields has a boyfriend. You better talk to Mrs. Shields.
Mrs. Shields. Mrs. Henry Irving Shields. She was not a new name in the case. Mr. and Mrs. Shields boarded with the Feranda family. But what had she to do with the Feranda murder? According to our reconstruction of the facts from Cleveland police files.
Mrs. Shields? Oh, she's a real nice woman. She and her husband and their 3 children moved here from Toledo. They wanted to build a home in Cleveland. Well, while they were building, they had no place to live. You know how Phil Feranda was. He was real generous. He just invited the whole Shields family to live with him. That's typical of Phil.
Funny thing, you know, the night Phil was murdered, well, Mrs. Shields all of a sudden got an idea that evening that she wanted to see how the building of her home was getting along. So the Shields invited the Feranda family to drive out and take a look at it. Mr. Feranda was tired and refused to go. That's how come he was alone when he got murdered.
Sure, Mrs. Shields is a real nice woman. Of course, we don't know anything about a boyfriend, so to speak. There is a fellow she sees now and then, a friend of hers from the old days. We hear his name's Edward Sadowski. He lives in Toledo.
Now the scene of operations moved to Toledo. Toledo police supplied a record of Sadowski.
Edward Sadowski, first conviction, 1936, juvenile delinquency, sentence indeterminate. Second conviction, breaking and entering. There's a notation on the record that Sadowski had molested another man's wife. The man in question preferred to keep his name out of it and dropped charges.
Then more and more information on Sadowski came in.
Sadowski, huh? He's quite a guy. Regular Romeo, shining up to all the married dames in town. He used to have a regular job, but he doesn't have one now. Made good pay during the war years. He worked as a mechanic.
Mechanic? That fit with the grease smudges found on the soiled gray hat in the rear of the Feranda yard. Now, Cleveland and Toledo embarked on a full-scale search for Sadowski. On the south side of Toledo, Sadowski was well known in the beer halls and bar rooms that line the streets, where the customers cluster at 9 a.m. to welcome the day with half a load. Yes, he was well known.
Yeah, we seen him and a pretty dame in here together.
They came in together a lot of times.
Last time we saw them was early in May.
On May 14th, Feranda was murdered, and no one had seen either Sadowski or the woman since May. The boys had one more piece of important information for the police. Sadowski's home address.
My name is Art Pagel, Cleveland Homicide Bureau, Cleveland Police Department. The Toledo police searched at Sadowski's room and found several hats, which were turned over to us. These were turned over to Mary Cowan, lab technician, who examined these hats and found them to be the same size and bore similar stains as found in the hat left at the scene of the Feranda murder.
Determined, Edward Sadowski wasn't in Toledo, and he was wanted. A nationwide alarm was sounded for Sadowski. In the meantime, police went to pick up Mrs. Shields and bring her in for questioning. But on June 1st, 1949, they learned...
Mrs. Shields isn't home. She left here shortly before lunch yesterday and hasn't returned. Nobody knows where she is, and her husband and family are worried to death.
Now, not only Edward Sadowski was wanted, but a picture and description of Mrs. Shields was flashed across the wires of the nation. Now, police began to drag every possible source for information on the missing pair.
Seen anyone who looks like this? Take a good look, mister. Is her face familiar?
His name's Sadowski. Is he around?
No one had seen either Sadowski or the missing Mrs. Shields, but the police had one lead.
There's one guy who might know where Eddie Sadowski is. That's his brother. He's an ex-con out on parole. His name is John Sadowski. He might have the information you're after.
Police thought finding John Sadowski would be simple. Parolees can't leave town without prior permission from parole boards. They dropped over to ex-convict John Sadowski's home, but when they got there, they learned...
John Sadowski's not at home. Oh, he's in town, all right, but he just doesn't happen to be around.
The word was unavailable. Brother John had disappeared. Now, for a third time, police sent out a citywide pickup order, and for a third time, they came up empty-handed. Cleveland police had started with the murder of a man everybody liked. Now they had 2 missing Sadowski brothers and 1 missing woman. The key in the chain of events, Mrs. Shields. Then, on June 1st, 1949, a real break.
Detective Frank D'Imperio of the Homicide Squad, Cleveland Police Department. Wait a minute. On the night that Mrs. Shields was missing, a pretty girl was seen to get into John Sadowski's automobile. This pretty girl fitted the description of Mrs. Shields. A description of the automobile owned by John Sadowski is a 1940 Chevrolet, 1949 Ohio license, QV294.
License plate number QV294 was flashed across the nation. State patrols alerted coast to coast. And while the state patrols watched, Cleveland police made a special telephone call to Detroit authorities.
We have information here that a sister of Edward Sadowski lives in Detroit. You might prepare an informal call on her.
Detroit prepared for an informal call on Sister Sadowski at 11 in the morning of June 4th. Then at 10:45, 15 minutes before the raid, the case broke wide open.
Mrs. Shields just called her husband. She's in Detroit. She's been held captive by Edward Sadowski. She escaped from him, and her husband is going to pick her up and take her to the Cleveland police. She wants to tell them about the Feranda affair.
Detective Captain David Kerr, commanding the Homicide Squad in Cleveland Police Department. At the time Mrs. Shields had returned to Cleveland, we questioned her, and she admitted knowing Edward Sadowski. She further stated that she was infatuated with him, and there's no doubt she was in love with him. She stated that about the time that she met him, he was interested in who she lived with and whether they had any money in their home. He further questioned her relative to the people she was now living with, Philip Feranda, and they agreed to burglarize the home. They actually planned a job there. Her part in the plan was that she had enticed everyone away from the home on a particular evening, and before leaving, she would see to it that the side door was left unlocked. They went ahead with their plan, but it so happened on this particular evening that Philip Feranda absolutely refused to leave. He worked hard all day, he was a truck driver, and he said he wanted to rest. And in order to save face, she was forced to go with the rest of the family, and she had no means at all of notifying Edward. But she did leave the side door open. She stated that later she came home, found a great commotion around the home, numerous people and police, and at that time learned that Philip had been murdered. She stated that she was suspicious that Edward was the one that did the job, but it wasn't until later that she visited Edward in Detroit. She stated that Edward Sadowski made a full confession that he was the one that did the murder.
Mrs. Shields was held as a material witness in $25,000 bail. As for Brother John Sadowski,
he admitted he had broken his parole and had taken Mrs. Shields to Detroit for a meeting with his brother. He was booked in city jail as a parole violator.
Now police got a recent picture of Edward Sadowski from Brother John and took it around the neighborhood to the various people who had seen the strange, dark-haired man casing the Feranda home.
Sure, that's the man.
He's the one that parked the car.
Absolutely, he's the one.
Identifying Sadowski was one thing, finding him was another. But based on the facts you've heard tonight and or other pertinent material, on October 6th, 1949...
The State of Ohio, Cuyahoga County, City of Cleveland, whereas complaint upon oath by Harold C. Lockwood has this day been filed with me, William J. Reichel, Clerk of the Municipal Court of the City of Cleveland, that on or about the 13th day of May, A.D. 1949, at said city and county, one Edward Sadowski did unlawfully, purposely, and while in the perpetration of a burglary, kill one Philip Feranda, contrary to the form of the statute in said case made and provided, and against the peace and dignity of the State of Ohio.
It is not our function here to determine the guilt or innocence of a man, nor do we intend to. All men are innocent until proved guilty in court. But by this warrant, this formal charge by society, Edward Sadowski is wanted for murder.
Here again is Walter McGraw.
You can help find Edward Sadowski. Right now, he may be an employee in your garage, a worker in your factory. You might be his next victim, so stand by. How can you recognize him? Listen, and listen carefully.
Detective Captain David Kerr, Cleveland Police Department. Edward Sadowski is white, 31 years old, 5 foot 9.5 tall, 160 pounds, medium dark complexion, dark chestnut hair. He has heavy eyebrows, a broad nose similar to a fighter, and a thick, wide mouth.
And now back to Walter McGraw in New York.
There's only one more voice to add to the sum total of the information you've received tonight. It's the voice of the underworld.
Who knows this guy, Sadowski? This guy is nobody. He's just a plain house burglar. I've done a lot of research trying to find out about this guy. He knows nothing. He's an amateur muscling in, yeah? And he's a stupid one, too. Knocking off a guy on a burglary job. One thing I found out about this guy. He's a good-looking guy with a lot of charm, and the dames are crazy for him. And because he's so stupid, this guy is dangerous. These amateurs don't have a right to carry a gun. They get nervous and shoot. And people get killed for nothing. Some of the boys say this dope paid every cent he had to get over the border to Canada. And he's in the North Woods working in a lumberyard. And if he is, my tip is to find the best-looking dame in the district. And you'll find Sadowski the dope making a play.
If you have no other way of seeing a picture of Edward Sadowski, go down to your local post office. A poster with his picture is on the wall. Study that face.
Edward Sadowski is 31 years old. Height 5 feet 9.5 Weight 160. Medium dark complexion. Dark chestnut hair. Eyes green, slanting. Nose broad. Mouth wide. He has a petulant expression. He considers himself a lady killer. Mentality equivalent to a 14-year-old child.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're not dealing with an ordinary run-of-the-mill criminal. Sadowski's an alleged killer. It's important for those who might be in danger now that he be brought to justice. Remember, Sadowski's an expert mechanic. At this very moment, he may be living in a new community far from his past and working in a new job. Factory owners, garage owners, foremen of lumberyards, loggers, look carefully at your employees. This is your case. You can help bring Edward Sadowski to justice. And it is your job. Last week, we broadcast the history of Myron Mike Selleck. At that time, we gave you an inside tip that Selleck was somewhere in Kentucky or Georgia. My informants were 4 weeks behind Selleck then. Now we're closing in on him. Immediately after last week's Wanted program, two people, one an NBC employee, the other an ex-schoolmate of Selleck's, reported seeing him in Los Angeles. It may be that the people who are financing Selleck's flight from Michigan have told him to go to Mexico. But listen, Selleck, the trail is getting hot. My suggestion for you is to give yourself up. There are people who don't want you taken alive. Give up to the police while you can. You are in danger, and so is your wife, Naomi. Selleck, you can't escape. So come on in while you can. Now, this is Walter McGraw saying, there's no time like now to help wipe out crime by getting both Selleck and Edward Sadowski.
Be with us again next week when you will hear the actual people involved give their eyewitness accounts of a man who kills for pleasure on Wanted. Wanted for jailbreak. All material heard on tonight's program was factual from the record. At the request of the Cleveland Police Department, pseudonyms were used for the people known as Mr. and Mrs. Henry Shields. Tonight's report was written by P.L. Mayer. Music was by Morris Mimorsky. The narrator was Fred Collins.
Wanted was supervised for NBC by James Kovac, was directed and produced by Walter McGraw.
The program was successful because shortly after this broadcast, they found the killer. They did. So, yes, it does work. Sometimes it depends on the case. Depends on the descriptions. The biggest problem the show faced was that it was just kind of bland. But it did generate some success. Wanted. 75 years ago, July 21st, 1950, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A show that is definitely not bland. Bland is Calling All Cars. We'll go back 88 years to hear an episode next.
This is Debbie Reynolds. If you've been wondering what you can do to fight communism personally from your own home, there is something you can do. Support Radio Free Europe, the station built and financed by the contributions of the American public to the crusade for freedom. Radio Free Europe is one Cold War operation the communists fear and attack constantly. Support Radio Free Europe. Send your truth dollars to Crusade for Freedom, care of your local postmaster.
We're going back 88 years to July 21st, 1937, an episode of the West Coast program Calling All Cars, which at the time, this was cutting edge in the field that we like to call police procedurals. Let's listen to this program called The Alibi.
Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by Rio Grande.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars. Attention all cars. Broadcast 191 regarding a holdup. Suspect described as male American, 24 years. 5 feet 8 or 9 inches, 145 pounds. Dark hair and eyes. Wore a gray overcoat and cap. This man is dangerous. That's all. Rolls and clips.
If you were to select a fine painting for your home, would you rely on your own judgment to guide you in securing an authentic work of art? Or would you call in one or more expert authorities to steer you right and insure you against getting an inferior product? The answer is obvious. You would buy only after you had expert advice that it was genuine and worth the price asked. In nearly all our purchases, we are influenced by the choice of others whose opinions we respect. Make that your policy in the purchase of gasoline for your motor car. Use the gasoline that carries the highest endorsement of any motor fuel in the state. The exclusive selection of 30 important cities and counties. The gasoline that communities rely on above all others to power their police cars, fire engines, ambulances, and emergency equipment of all kinds. Yes, last year, Rio Grande cracked gasoline powered police and fire equipment for over 55 million miles, meeting the exacting requirements of this type of service, which includes all speeds and all degrees of rough usage. Think about police car performance in terms of your own needs. Wouldn't you like to have smooth, velvety operation in traffic and a great reserve power to meet every emergency? The answer is, of course, you would. So why not get it? It's yours, waiting for you at the nearest Rio Grande pump. Drive around tomorrow and see your Rio Grande dealer. We take pleasure now in presenting Chief James E. Davis of the Los Angeles Police Department. Chief Davis.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Many of you may not realize that you have a duty and responsibility to aid in combating crime. The most perfectly functioning police system, armed with the most modern fighting equipment, and having at its command the most scientific knowledge and material, is helpless and ineffectual without the aid and support of you, the citizen. the indifference of public-spirited citizens who should be most concerned, and the shielding of criminals by relatives with the connivance of crooked lawyers has led many criminals to deliberately commit crimes, knowing from past experience that the worst fate that can befall them is a few years in prison. Tonight's program is a case in point, and I shall have more to say about it at the end of the broadcast.
At 8 o'clock on the night of December 7th, 1930, Carl Dean brought the streetcar on which he was motorman to a stop at 11th and Georgia Streets, while his conductor, Leland Hansen, threw the switch to bring the car into the barns on Georgia Street. The conductor had just regained his platform when he heard a step behind him.
This car is going to the barn. We can't...
Never mind that. Give me what you got.
What do you mean?
Don't stall me, fellow. Where's the money?
In my pocket.
All right, let's have it.
Yes, sir.
This all you got?
Yes.
How much in that changer?
Nothing in there.
Okay, bell him down. All right, 2 bells.
What's coming off back there? Some guy get on by mistake?
No, I've been held up.
At 11:23 on the night of March 25th, safety operator R.A. Fuller noticed a passenger waiting for his car at the stop at 40th and McKinley. He pulled his car to a stop, opened the door, waited while his passenger boarded the car. As was his custom, he watched his passenger's feet and legs to see that he was safely settled, then started his car. He looked around to see if the fare had been deposited in the fare box, and...
Just keep looking ahead, buddy, and you won't get hurt. Look at me again, and I'll shoot you dead.
What do you want?
This is a stick-up. This little object resting on your fare box is a gun. Ever see one?
Yeah.
Okay, pal. Hand over what you got.
You won't get very much. This has been a kind of a poor night.
Well, you got paid today, didn't you?
Yeah, but I don't carry that around with me.
Okay, give me what you have.
Well, here's $2, and here's 2 50-cent pieces and 2 tokens. And here's what's in the changer. That makes about $15 in all.
All right. Let me off at the next stop. Keep buttoned up, pal, and you won't get hurt. And don't look around.
Don't worry, I won't.
Five days later, shortly before 2 o'clock in the morning, officers James Costello and Elmer Hoffman were patrolling the district in Los Angeles near West 7th and Lucas Streets.
I hear the boys down at Georgia are a little worried about that streetcar holdup last week.
Yeah. Can't seem to get a line on that bird.
Hansen furnished a pretty good description last December.
Huh? Well, I got a good one from Fuller. The man he held up on the 25th.
Anybody see his face in either job?
No. Fuller got a fair look. Everybody identified the overcoat and cap, though. Well, if he's still in Los Angeles, we'll find him, all right.
Oh, he's probably in Timbuktu by this time.
Yeah. Take it a little slower, Elmer. There's a mug sitting in an automobile. Don't look so good at this time of night. Turn around, Elmer. I'm going to ask this boy some questions.
Okay, Jim. Take it easy now. You never can tell about these mugs.
He's probably waiting for that chop suey joint to close. That's what's the idea, Bud. Waiting for somebody?
What's it to you?
Why, nothing especially. Just thought this is a peculiar time to be sitting in a car in a public street like this.
Anything wrong in that?
Well, that all depends. Suppose you get out and let's take a look at you. I've been sort of looking for a gray coat and cap like that.
Okay, cop. Now get this. Huh? Get back in that baby carriage there and beat it. Get me? Make it fast. I ain't fooling.
Okay, Bud. Oop. You don't have to poke that gun through me, you know.
Go on. Shove off.
All right. You'll have to move over, Elmer. He's got the drop on me.
What's up, Jim?
This monkey's got a gun on me, Elmer. Move over.
Lean back, Jim. Let me get a shot at him.
Oh, don't try it.
Why you?
Elmer, I'm hit. Get him.
Hey! Get back here! Stop!
effort to get out of the car and at the same time assist his brother officer, Hoffman was unable to get a good shot at the fleeing bandit or to obtain a glimpse of his license. There followed hours of feverish activity on the part of the police. Additional officers were added to details, checking parking lots, garages, out-of-the-way storage lots, searching for the bandit's car. Next day, in the office of Chief of Detectives Edwards, police officers on duty and off met for a conference.
Fellas, we've got to find this bird that shot Jim Costello. Now, we know he lived somewhere around that district. And here's my suggestion. Let's map out that section in blocks. Let's all take a section and canvass it in plainclothes. We'll tell those mugs that run some of those places that if we don't find out within 12 hours who killed Costello, we'll really mess up that district. How's about it?
Okay, Chief.
Well?
Listen, Gertie, you like living here, don't you?
Sure. What about it?
Well, I've been hearing tales about this place. Wouldn't like to go down to headquarters and try to prove they aren't true, would you?
Sure not. I ain't hankering to go to the cop house.
And I'm looking for a bird who shot a cop out here last night. If we hear from him inside of 12 hours, we won't need to come back through here looking for him. You get me?
Sure. I get you.
Be seeing you, Gert.
What do you want?
Looking for a friend of mine. Got in a jam last night. Shot a cop. You know him?
I don't know who you're talking about. Who are you?
Never mind. Ask the boys in the back room how they'd like a ride in the patrol wagon.
Now, wait a minute. You got me wrong.
I know. You're not running a speakeasy. I'm not standing here either. Now, listen to me. You don't want to have to vacate quick. Get the word around that we'll be waiting at headquarters tonight for a phone call about that mug who's so handy with a rod. And if that phone don't ring...
Hey, you. Keep away from that car.
Listen, my good man, don't talk to me that way. I might arrest you.
Oh, gee. I'm sorry, Captain. I didn't know who you was.
Stow it. I'm looking for bullet holes, see?
Yeah, I see. Well, you won't find any in these cars.
Well, maybe not. Then again, you don't happen to know anything about a car with some bullet holes in it, do you?
No, sir, I don't.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll wait at headquarters until 12 tonight. You look around and see if you can find a blue-green Dodge Roadster with a dark top, will you?
Yes, sir.
And don't forget to call me.
Wait a minute, Mamie. Can't I come in?
Beat it, cop. I ain't done nothing.
I know you haven't, Mamie. Never can tell when you might want to, though. I wouldn't want to take you down to Georgia Street and have all those rough policemen asking you embarrassing questions.
Not much. What are you looking for?
The bird who shot Jim Costello.
Look somewhere else.
I don't have to. You're going to help
I'm
me.
no stool pigeon.
If somebody doesn't call the office before 12 tonight, you're going to wish you were some kind of pigeon. Goodbye, Mamie.
Oh.
Homicide. Barrett speaking.
If you get out to 8th and Beacon and look in the back room, you'll find what you're looking for.
Yeah? Why are you telling me this?
So's you dumb cops will keep off of 7th Street.
All right, Hello? Hello? Well, there we are, boys. 8th and Beacon. Let's move in. We're police officers. You got a man here who's been shot?
Oh, why, no. Oh, there was a man here earlier this morning, but he moved.
Was he injured in any way?
Yes. He told me he'd been shot by some woman's husband.
Where's he moved to?
I don't know. I made several phone calls for him. He said he couldn't walk.
What were the numbers you called?
Oh, I don't remember. Yes, I do. I remember one number. It was Capital 5341, I think. Yes, that was it.
All right. Let's take a look at his room.
Yes, sir. Right this way. Right in here, officer.
Mm-hmm. Does this man have a car?
Yes, sir. A Dodge Roadster.
What's his name?
Rogers. Glenn Rogers.
Okay. Don't let anybody into this room except a police officer. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Well, where's your phone?
Right on the wall there, in the hall.
Let me talk with the manager. This is Detective Lieutenant Starrett. I want to get a number trace. Yes, Capital 5341. All right, I'll wait. When did this Rogers guy move out?
Oh, about 2 o'clock this morning. Mr. Rogers used to work for the streetcar company.
Oh, he did, huh?
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yes? Herman Kroger, eh? 1907 Pasadena Avenue. Okay, thanks. Huh? Oh, streetcar conductor. Okay. Well, come on, Shattuck. Let's go see the L.A. Railway's special agent.
L.A. Railway. One moment, please. L.A. Railway. I'll connect you. Yes, sir. Whom did you wish to see?
George Bruffett. We're from police headquarters.
Well, go right in, please. The first door on the right.
Thank you.
L.A. Railway. I'll connect you.
Hello, Jim. Hello. How are you, Shattuck? Sit down. Thanks. Well, boys, what can I do for you? We're looking for a bird named Rogers that used to work here. And one named Kroger. Wait a minute. Rogers. R-O-G. Rogers. Oh, yes, here it is. What's the first name? Glenn. Oh. Discharged for inefficiency in December of last year. Mm-hmm. How about Kroger? K-R-E-K-R-O. Kroger. Conductor on our line. Works out of Division 2. I'll call him. Get me superintendent of Division 2. We'll find out when he comes through town. What's he done? Nothing that we know of. Rogers is the man who shot Costello last night. No. Wait a minute. Hello? Well, this is George Bruffett. When does Herman Kruger do at 7th and Spring? Okay. Have a relief man there. That's all. All right, boys. We'll go down and meet the gentleman.
Kroger was taken off his car at 7th and Spring, and without a word being spoken to him, was taken to the Georgia Street station. Captain Edwards and Lieutenant Starrett began questioning him.
We want to know where you took Glenn Rogers.
I don't know any Glenn Rogers.
Don't try to hand us that. We happen to know that you got a call from Rogers and that you went to his house at 2 o'clock this morning and helped him move. Now, where'd you take him?
I didn't help him move. Dorothy
Who's
did.
Dorothy?
That's his girlfriend.
Oh, so you do know Rogers.
Well, yeah. I know him. A little.
Where is he now?
None of your business.
Oh, is that so? Now, listen, Mug. Anytime a guy kills a copper, it's a whole lot of my business, see? Now, you come across.
I ain't telling you nothing.
Why, you...
Take it easy, Jim. Let me talk to this bird. Now, listen, Kroger. You're in a spot. You're guilty of compounding a felony in that you're helping conceal a felon. And you're guilty of helping him escape. Now, there are two sides to this thing. The right one and the wrong one. You're on the wrong side, Kroger. And I'm giving you just 5 minutes to get right. That is, unless you want me to lock you up now.
No, wait a minute. Got me wrong. I'll tell you all about it.
All right, that's more like it. Get started.
Well, Rogers called me early this morning. I went over to his place at 8th and Beacon. He told me he shot a copper, and another copper had shot him. He said he did it because he didn't want to be caught with a gun on him.
Pretty weak excuse for killing a man.
Yeah, that's what I told him, but he said that was his affair.
He asked me to call Dorothy, that's his girlfriend, and I did. And they went out to her house. All I did was help him pack a little black handbag with some personal stuff, like shirts and things like that.
Where did they go?
I don't know the address, but I can show you.
All right, come on and do it. Jim, get Shattuck. Let's drive Kroger over to the place he says Rogers is hiding. Where is this place, Kroger?
It's out in Huntington Park. That's the house over there, the yellow one.
Now, you stay here. Shattuck, you take that side window on the right.
Okay, Captain.
Starrett, you take the back door. I'll go in the front way. Keep your eyes open. All right, lady, just open it up. We're looking for Glenn Rogers.
Well, he ain't here.
Never mind, I see him. All right, Rogers, stick him up. Come on in, Jim. What'd you do with the gun, Rogers?
I threw it away.
But Rogers had not thrown the gun away. After hours of questioning, he finally admitted that he had hidden the gun used to shoot Officer James Costello on the night of March 30th. He was held to answer on a charge of murder and brought to trial in Department 25, the court of Judge Charles W. Fricke. Months dragged by, and at last the verdict of the jury is ready.
The clerk will read the verdict.
The case of the people of the state of California versus Glenn Rogers, defendant. We, the jury, find the defendant in the above entitled action not guilty. Order in the court. This is no laughing matter.
The jury is discharged. Judge Fricke, I'm from the press. What do you think of the decision?
In all my years on the bench, in all my experience as a lawyer and judge, this is the most incomprehensible verdict that has ever come to my notice. It is utterly unbelievable that any group of men and women could be so swayed by the words of witnesses and attorneys, so spellbound and hypnotized by the mass mind as to permit themselves to render such a verdict as this. It is not in the power of the people to appeal this case. So nothing remains but to abide by the verdict as returned by the jury. Back in the office of Captain of Detectives Edwards, we find Edwards in conference with Officers Shattuck, Sterrett, O'Connor, and Fred Wessel.
Well, boys, there you are. None of us had the faintest idea that Rogers would beat that murder rap.
What's the next move, Cap?
Well, the DA's got a hold on him for those two robberies, and there's a charge of possession of a sap hanging over him. Now, I want you, Wessel, and you, O'Connor, to get busy and hang those robbers on that bird. And I don't want any slip-ups. Starrett, you and Shattuck stay on this, and see that we get enough evidence to make these charges stick. Okay, Chief.
Who's going to represent us on the case?
Cliff Creel. You'll work with him in preparing the case. We want those witnesses who were at the murder trial, but who didn't get a chance to testify. We're going to make this case airtight.
Rogers was again brought to trial, first on a charge of possessing a sap, or blackjack. Conviction followed on this charge in spite of the testimony of witnesses. Then began the robbery trials. For the March 25th crime, Rogers prepared a puncture-proof alibi. Witness after witness testified to seeing him that night, and also on the night of December 7th, 1929, the date of the first streetcar holdup. Finally, on September 11th, the defense called its last alibi witness, Rosamond O'Keefe.
Miss O'Keefe, do you know the defendant?
I have met him.
Calling your attention to the night of December 7th, did you have occasion to see the defendant that night?
Yes, I did.
Where did you see him?
At the Cosmo Country Club. I danced with him.
What time was that?
It must have been shortly after 9. I got there just a little before 9. They were dancing then.
What time did you leave?
After 12.
You say the defendant came in a little after 9?
Yes.
And remained there steadily till you went home?
Yes.
Your witness, Mr. Creel?
You, did not go to this dance with the defendant, did you?
No.
You just met the defendant that night, did you?
No. I had met him once before.
When?
About 2 years ago.
Where?
At Miss Gilmore's house.
The girl who testified just before you did?
Yes.
Can you fix the time of this meeting?
No.
The day?
No.
The week?
No.
The month?
No.
Are you sure you did meet him?
No. I mean, yes.
Make up your mind.
Yes.
But you did see the defendant on the night of December the 7th?
Yes.
Well, now, how do you fix the time so definitely if you cannot remember other dates?
When it was called to my attention, I looked it up.
Oh.
I had my bid yet. My bid to the dance.
Who called it to your attention?
Miss Gilmore.
Does that bid bear the date of the dance?
Yes, it does.
Did you bring it with you?
No, I left it at home.
Uh-huh. Is this the only dance you ever attended at which the defendant was present?
Yes.
Are you positive of that?
Yes.
Your Honor, I request that this girl be sent home with an officer, and she be ordered to bring to the court this bid of which he speaks.
Has counsel any objection?
None, Your Honor.
Then it is so ordered.
Rosamond O'Keefe was taken to her home. What happened when her Irish mother discovered what was taking place still brings smiles to the faces of the investigating officers. A much chastened Rosamond returned to the afternoon session of court. Direct examination was begun by Deputy District Attorney Clifford Crale.
Miss O'Keefe, you testified this morning that you attended a dance at the Cosmo Country Club on the night of December the 7th, 1929.
Yes.
And that during the evening you saw the defendant, Rogers, and you danced with him.
Yes.
That was substantially your testimony.
Yes.
Now, was that testimony true or false?
It is false.
What was your answer?
It is false?
It is false.
Order in the court. Miss O'Keefe, I'll ask you whether or not last Monday you talked to Evelyn Kilmore over the telephone, that during that conversation that she said to you substantially that you were going to be called as a witness in this case, that you would testify that you had danced with Glenn Rogers at the Cosmo Country Club on the night of December the 7th, 1929.
Yes, that is right.
She told you that?
Yes.
If Your Honor, please, for the purpose of the record, at this time, I'd like to stipulate that as far as counsel for defense is concerned, he had nothing to do with putting on what is apparent as perjured testimony. And my investigation completely exonerates him from having anything to do with it.
Let the record so show.
In spite of alibis presented by the defense, Glenn Rogers was found guilty of robbery in the first degree. Have you ever seen a long freight train toiling up a mountain grade? Figure for yourself the power required, the lubricants that must be used to overcome the tremendous friction. It is significant that 52 of the great railway systems of this country depend on Sinclair motor oils to fight friction and wear in their equipment. That fact is as fine an endorsement as any product could have. But that is not all. Add to that the preference of 150 airlines, airplane manufacturers, and flying fields. Everyone knows how vital lubrication is in the business of flying. In addition, millions of motorists in 45 countries say Sinclair in dozens of different languages to express their choice of motor oil. Bear in mind that the motor oil you put in your car is the one thing that prevents moving metal parts from coming together. The one thing most important in safeguarding your motor investment. Make that oil the best you can buy. Sinclair. Sinclair Opaline is only 25 cents a quart at your Rio Grande dealers. It's the qualified companion product of Rio Grande cracked gasoline. You should get them both at your Rio Grande dealers tomorrow. And now again we hear Chief Davis.
Through circumstances over which the police department had no control, Glenn Rogers was never punished for the cold-blooded shooting of a police officer. He was sentenced, however, to consecutive terms, 5 years to life and 7 years to life on charges of robbery. Efforts are now being made to free this man and again enable him to prey upon society.
Los Angeles Police calling all cars, attention all cars. Cancellation broadcast 191 regarding a holdup. Suspect in this case is now in custody. And that's all. Rosenquist.
your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for Rio Grande.
10 years before Dragnet had even been a thought, William N. Robeson was producing shows like Calling All Cars 88 years ago, July 21st, 1937, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on this Monday. Tomorrow we will have Westerns with Fort Laramie, Roy Rogers, Gunsmoke, Tales of the Texas Rangers, and a soap opera, Claudia. Rosemary. On Wednesday, Espionage with Dangerous Assignment, The Man Called X, I Was a Communist for the FBI, and another episode of Calling All Cars, going back to 1936. It's no secret, Calling All Cars began in 1934. Dragnet did not get started until 1949. On Thursday, Academy Award Theater, Foreign Correspondent, The Crime Club, A Life in Your Hands, and Night Watch. On Friday, Dr. Christian, Counter Spy, the summer show Satan's Waitin', and Murder by Experts. Saturday, we'll split the bill with Have Gun Will Travel and Gunsmoke, and then we'll get to an episode of Escape and Mr. District Attorney, and another letter to Adolf Hitler from a soldier. And then on Sunday of next week, coming up this Sunday coming up, Somebody Knows, the Frank Christensen murder, the lineup, Crime and Peter Chambers, and Crime Classics. 1 week from today, another episode of Escape. Parley Bear stars as a second-class passenger. An episode of Did Justice Triumph, the Marriage Bureau murders, Lights Out, the Rocket Ship, and Romance. That's all coming up the week ahead here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Our webpage, classicradio.stream. Next, The Big Story.
Americans have always been noted for their know-how. And you young men in search of a career, you can put this practical talent to excellent use in one of our nation's many engineering schools. At the present time, we need engineers. We need them to maintain our scientific and engineering superiority. So look to your future, to America's future. Plan now to become an engineer.
We continue now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox with the series The Big Story, where we talk about newspaper stories that blew up. 77 years ago, July 21st, 1948, the story about the Lottery Racket.
Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes present The Big Story.
You're sure everything is all right, Tiny?
Sure, I'm sure. We phoned that reporter and told him there was a story waiting for him here, so he... Hey.
What is it?
There he is now. That's the reporter.
Wait until he comes closer. Wait until he turns into the walk. You don't want to miss him, do you, Tiny?
Miss him? When I get through unloading this rod, that reporter's going to look like a Swiss cheese.
The Big Story. Here is America. Its sound and its fury, its joy and its sorrow, as faithfully reported by the men and women of the great American newspapers. Atlanta, Georgia. From the pages of the Atlanta Constitution, the authentic story of a reporter who set out to clean up a lottery by gambling with his life. Tonight, to Keeler McCartney of the Atlanta Constitution goes the Pall Mall Award for The Big Story. Of all America's leading cigarettes, only one is outstanding. Only one is outstanding.
It's the longer, finer cigarette. Pall Mall.
Look at a Pall Mall.
It looks good.
Feel a Pall Mall.
It feels good.
Taste a Pall Mall.
It tastes good.
Smoke a Pall Mall.
It smokes good.
Now you've discovered why so many of your friends have changed to Pall Mall, the longer, finer cigarette. For Pall Mall's greater length of traditionally fine, mellow tobaccos filters the smoke on the way to your throat.
That's important.
Yes, Pall Mall's greater length filters the smoke on the way to your throat. Gives you that smoothness,
mildness, and satisfaction no other cigarette offers you. Of all America's leading cigarettes, only one is outstanding. Only one is outstanding. The longer, finer cigarette in the distinguished red package. Pall Mall Famous Cigarette. Outstanding.
And they are mild.
And now the story as it actually happened. Keeler McCartney's story as he lived it. Atlanta, Georgia.
You are Keeler McCartney, police reporter for the Atlanta Constitution. You're young, conscientious, and hot. You stand in your city editor's office, listening to his dry voice briefing you on new assignments. And you wish you could dive head first into a glass of beer. When the voice stops, you melt out of the office to your own desk, your half-hearted notes clinging damply to your fingers.
Hiya, Mac. Hot enough for you? Pete, if one more guy asks if it's hot enough for me, I'm going to pop him one. Yeah, it's hot enough for me. It's hot enough for a tamale. Hey, what's the matter with you? Editor toss your lousy assignment? Mac, he says, get this. Mac, I want you to see what you can do about cleaning up the lottery racket in town. $18 million a year those racketeers are making. Enough to buy plenty of Tommy guns to bump off any reporter who's dope enough to stick his nose into that setup. How do they operate the thing? You lay a bet on the third, fourth, and fifth digits of the daily bond total in the paper. Uh-huh. Pays off 450 to 1, but the odds are 1,000 to 1 against you. How do you find out about a lottery anyhow? Place the bet. Fellow down the street from me, Joe Sampson, he gambles a lot on it. Ask him. He should be able to make contact for you. Okay, what can I lose? Nothing but a buck. Or, who knows, you might even make a killing. Hey, is anybody home?
Oh, I'm outside in the garden.
Oh, didn't see you. You Mrs. Sampson?
That's right.
You picked a pretty rugged day for weeding, didn't you?
I sure did. Hot enough for you?
Yeah, it is. I'm looking for Mr. Sampson. Is he in?
Why, no.
I wanted to ask him about placing a lottery bet.
Get out of here.
Well, now, wait a minute. You don't understand.
I understand enough. You're a writer, aren't you?
Well, sure, I'm a reporter, but...
A reporter?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were one of those lottery writers that comes to see Joe all the time.
What have you got against them?
I wish they were all dead.
Hey, wait a minute. The lottery's against the law, sure, but what harm can it do?
You really want to know that?
Well, sure.
Come on up on the porch where it's cooler. I owe you a glass of buttermilk for biting your head off anyhow. And after that, I'd like to tell you a story. All right?
All right. It's a deal.
Maybe it's not much of a story, Mr. McCartney. It's the kind of thing that probably happens to a lot of people. The thing is, this time it happened to Joe and me. We were married about a year then when...
Mrs. Sampson, I gotta hand it to you. I married the best-looking gal in the state and the best cook in the world.
Oh, Joe.
Now that am good apple pie. Sour as a banker's disposition.
Oh, say, that reminds me. I put some money in our bank today.
Our bank?
Mm-hmm. The blue teapot on the kitchen counter. I call that our bank.
Oh, the First National Sampson, huh?
I put in another $3, Joe.
You're saving so you can be independently wealthy?
Joe, you haven't forgotten.
Forgotten what?
The house out on 5th Street. The white one with the blue shutters and the peach tree in the yard.
Oh, what about it?
Well, it's going to be ours someday, that's what about it. Just as soon as we can fill that teapot with enough $3 to buy it.
You sure think in slow motion, Jeannie. I'll figure out a way to make a pile of dough fast, and we'll move into that house next year.
Oh, no, Joe, no. If we just save a little bit each week, we'll have it soon enough. Oh, it's better that way, Joe, honest.
Okay, honey, have it your way. You go ahead and save the pennies in the teapot, but I'm going to see if I can throw in the dollars. Hey, how about another piece of that apple pie?
Joe's always like that, Mr. McCartney. Fast. He can't wait for things. Well, like planting those flowers in the yard. Joe was swell about digging up the dirt for me, but he doesn't like the waiting for the flowers to come up. Anyhow, Joe brought me the $3 I asked for from his check every payday, and I'd go put it in the blue teapot. Got so's I'd wait for him on the porch steps every Friday.
Hi, baby.
Give it to me.
Give what to you?
The $3 for the teapot.
Look, honey, I haven't got it.
You haven't got it? Oh, but Joe...
Listen, Jeannie, did you ever hear of the bug, the lottery? You know, you bet on the numbers and the bond total each day, and if you win, they pay you $450 to 1. Well, all we need is to hit it right just once, and we've got a down payment on the house.
Oh, Joe, no. Please don't gamble. Give me the money and let me put it away in the teapot.
Oh, come on, baby. Be a sport. Just a few bucks, that's all. Well, what harm can it do? Jeannie, what are you doing in here?
What are you doing, Joe? What do you want with that teapot?
Look, honey, I got a especially lucky feeling today, see? I just want to borrow a couple of bucks from the teapot for the bug. I'll put it back tomorrow. Look, Jeannie, how about sparing me a few bucks, huh?
The teapot's empty, Joe.
Yeah, I mean from the housekeeping money.
Oh, Joe.
I got a hunch today on number 419. I figure all I have to do is lay $10 on that, and I can clean up and get back all my losings in one hit.
Joe, you've got to bring your check home next week. I can't pay the bills. You've got to stop gambling.
How can I stop? I got to make up my losses, don't I? But there ain't no buts, I tell you. I got to make dough fast, and there ain't no faster way than the bug. Oh, look, Jeannie, don't be mad at me. I got a feeling, honey. I'm going to be lucky tomorrow.
I heard of people that couldn't stop drinking, Mr. McCartney. Men who kept on drinking even when it made them sick. Well, that's how gambling is with Joe now. Something rotten, something he can't get away from, even though it's like poison and he's sick with it. Last night I sat across the table in the kitchen just looking at him. Watching him kind of sit there and fall away into little pieces. Just looking at him.
What the devil are you looking at?
You.
Well, quit it.
I'm sorry.
Sorry. Do you always have to be sorry?
I'm sorry. Why don't you give it up, Joe?
What are you talking about?
The lottery, give it up, Joe.
Why don't you give up picking on me?
I'm not picking on you.
Yes, you are. I don't bet because I want to. I bet because I'd be a dope to stop now. I've lost too much to quit now, and my number's going to come up.
You know it won't.
It's got to come up someday, doesn't it? And when it does, we'll be rich.
Rich? What do we want to be rich for? We just want to save enough to put in our bank?
Yeah, sure. Lousy nickels and pennies to put in the bank so we can buy a house when we're 80.
That's not true. You know it isn't. We had lots of money in the bank before.
Before what? Well, go ahead, say it. Before I robbed the bank to gamble, that's what you were going to say, right?
No, Joe.
Before Joe robbed the bank, before Joe swiped the money.
I'm not blaming you.
You just think I robbed your lousy bank, that's all?
No, I don't.
All right, I did. I robbed the lousy little broken-down teapot. I swiped the money and I left it empty. Lousy little teapot with a lousy little broken handle, it's all empty. Look at it. All empty, and I don't care. You hear me, Jeannie? I don't care. I don't care a hoot about your lousy little teapot. Oh, Jeannie. For the love of heaven, help me.
Joey.
I can't stop, Jeannie. It's like being drunk or crazy. Every week when I get my check, I say, this time I'll bring it home to Jeannie. This time I'll give it all to Jeannie. And that guy comes along with his lottery, and I can't stop.
What are we going to do, honey?
I don't know.
Oh, Joe, I wish they were all dead.
So do I.
You, Keeler McCartney, feel a slow burning anger that starts deep in your guts and rips its way up to the lump in your throat. You're suddenly ashamed because you can still hear yourself saying carelessly,
The lottery? What harm can it do?
and now you know.
Can't anybody do anything to stop it, Mr. McCartney?
I don't know. I sure don't know what one guy with a typewriter can do against thousands of guys with lottery sheets and Tommy guns, but... Well, I'm going to try.
We'll be back in just a moment with tonight's big story. Of all America's leading cigarettes, only one is outstanding. Only one is outstanding. It's the longer, finer cigarette, Pall Mall. Look at a Pall Mall. It looks good. Feel a Pall Mall. It feels good. Taste a Pall Mall. It tastes good. Smoke a Pall Mall. It smokes good. Now you've discovered why so many of your friends have changed to Pall Mall, the longer, finer cigarette. Pall Mall. Good to look at, good to feel, good to taste, and good to smoke. For Pall Mall's greater length of traditionally fine, mellow tobaccos filters the smoke on the way to your throat. That's important. Yes, Pall Mall's greater length filters the smoke on the way to your throat. Gives you that smoothness, mildness, and satisfaction no other cigarette offers you. Of all America's leading cigarettes, only one is outstanding. Only one is outstanding. The longer, finer cigarette in the distinguished red package. Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes. Outstanding. And they are mild. This is Cy Harris, returning you to your narrator and the big story of Keeler McCartney as he lived it and wrote it.
You, Keeler McCartney, are mad. Hot and mad. Hot because the late summer Georgia sun has made a furnace of Atlanta's streets. Mad because a lottery called the Bug is wrecking the lives of Atlanta's people. The Bug. You've written stories about it, and you know it's an ugly, crawling thing that takes the dimes and the dollars of Atlanta's poor. So, you take your temper and your thirst into a bar where you know the workers for the Bug congregate. You walk out of the burning sun into the dimness and the coolness, and you say,
One beer.
And then you wait. You wait while the eyes along the bar study you, and the eyes from the table study you. You wait, and you drink your beer, and you feel the eyes upon you. And then, hi.
Hello.
Hot enough for you?
You bet.
You're new. I ain't seen you before.
I'm new.
None of the boys, they ain't seen you before.
Well, I'm new.
Writer?
Mm-hmm.
Work for Claude?
Uh-huh.
South Side?
That's right.
Claude don't operate on the South Side.
He does now.
What do you mean?
He started this morning.
You mean he's gonna muscle in on Daniels?
Figure it out yourself.
Well, that's good news. Glad to hear it. They call me Tiny. Have a beer?
Sure. I'm Red.
Pleased to meet you, Red. 2 beers, Freddie. Reason I cased you first off, we gotta be careful.
Sure.
The newspapers are getting after us.
Sure.
This guy McCartney on the Constitution. There is one prize louse.
Sure.
Yeah. He's gonna wake up some morning and find himself dead.
Have another beer, Tiny?
Sure, pal, sure.
How'd you make out this week?
Collected $2,784. You know something, pal. People are awful suckers.
Congratulations, Mac. Those stories of yours on the Bug are beginning to pay off. The cops picked up 3 lottery bosses again yesterday. They're only the little guys, Pete. We have to get the big ones. The biggest one. Well, go to it. Sure. Trouble is, I don't know who he is.
Look, pal, suppose I do get picked up. What of it? This lawyer the boss hired can get a charge buried for years. Great guy, the boss.
I never met him.
Great guy.
Never comes around here, does he?
The boss? In a crumb joint like this? Don't be funny. Dan Hurlbut is a gentleman. The word is to take it slow, pal.
What's up?
Well, this lousy reporter, this McCartney on the Constitution, he's found out Dan Hurlbut's the boss. Dan says we go. Watch it, pal.
What?
A cop just come into the bar heading this way.
Hey, Matt! Matt! Listen, I just happened to catch sight of you through the window. Break for me. Look, drop off this accident report for me at the station, will you, Mac? Got to hurry. Wife's birthday, you know how it is. And I'm late, too. Thanks a lot, Mac.
Mac. Now, ain't that a coincidence? This Keeler McCartney over at the Constitution. I hear they call him Mac, too. That's it. He knows. They all know. A sudden, ugly silence falls over the bar, and all those eyes turn toward you again. All those ugly, pig-like eyes. You stand up. You put a hand into your hip pocket. Your back towards the door. Slowly, slowly, keeping a steady watch on Tiny and his pals. And then you push open the bar door, and you're outside in the street, and you start to run. You take your hand out of your hip pocket because you didn't have a gun anyway. You just run.
Just how much do you think this McCartney person knows about us, Tiny?
Well, you know how it is, Mr. Hurlbut. Some of the boys ain't careful like me. Some of the boys get a little liquored up and they talk too much.
In other words, Tiny, it might be advisable to liquidate this reporter?
Like you say, Mr. Hurlbut, liquidate.
If we could figure out some way to entice him to the Yellow House. Do you think we could entice McCartney to the Yellow House, Tiny?
Sure, I'll have Blanche call him with a phony story. Just tell me when you want him, Mr. Hurlbut. Just tell me when. Hello, Samson.
Leave me alone, will you, Tiny?
How much you want to place on the buck tonight, Joe?
Cut it out, Tiny. Please cut it out. I'm taking my check home tonight. You hear me?
Sure. But how about that little house you and the wife was planning?
I thought you guys were going to be stopped. That guy on the paper, that Keeler McCartney. He'll get you guys, the whole bunch of you.
I'll tell you a secret, Joe. McCartney's through. The boys at the Yellow House are going to take care of him. Now, what'd you say, $15, Joe?
All right. $15 on number 419, and I hope I never see you again as long as I live.
Joe Sampson, $15 on number 419.
Sure everything is all right, Tiny?
Sure, I'm sure, Mr. Hurlbut. Blanche telephoned McCartney, told him there was some kind of a story here. Hey.
What is it?
Just turn in the corner there. That's McCartney.
Wait until he turns into the walk. You don't want to miss.
Miss? When I get through unloading this rod, that reporter's going to look like a Swiss cheese.
I sincerely hope so. Now, wait, Tiny. Wait until he turns into the walk. Just another few steps, Tiny. Just a couple more steps now.
Mr. McCartney? Mr. McCartney!
Jane, what are you doing here?
I just called your office and they told me where you were going. And Joe just told me what the writer said to him.
What writer?
The one called Tiny.
Tiny?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He said, the boys in the Yellow House will take care of you.
In the Yellow House?
Yeah, do you know what he meant?
The Yellow House? Nope, rings no bells.
Oh.
Well, thanks anyway, Gene. I'll go in here now and cover this story. And maybe I'll check on the yellow house business later.
All right. Oh, but take care of yourself.
Don't worry, I'll be... Gene,
Yeah?
do you see the number on this house right here?
Says, 224 on the stoop.
I just got an anonymous phone call to cover a story at number 224.
But what's that got...
See what I mean? Number 224 is a yellow house.
Oh, can you tie that? He beat it.
Well, Tiny, that's the second time you've failed me.
Me, Mr. Hubbard?
You, Tiny. I found out it was you who talked too much and started all this difficulty. And now you've bungled an opportunity to rectify your mistake. Tiny, much as I regret the necessity, you are true.
You, Keeler McCartney, know who's behind this plot to erase you. Dan Hurlbut. And you know that he'll get you, too. Unless you get him first. But how? That's the question. How?
How can you pin a guy down if nobody will squeal on him, Pete?
What's with this Dan Hurlbut character? He made a solid gold?
Just about. He treats his riders well, gives them big percentages of their take, protects them when they get in trouble.
Uh-oh, more trouble. If it's another anonymous tip, hang up, Mac. It's too hot to go to a funeral.
McCartney speaking.
This the McCartney that's been writing them stories on the lottery?
Yeah, who's this?
Nobody. Look, I used to be in the lottery business myself, see?
What business you in now?
Giving tips to reporters.
No, thanks.
You'll want to hear this, McCartney. A guy by the name of Dan Hurlbut has 70 cases of whiskey stored in a garage over on Melrose Avenue, see? And he ain't got no permit for 'em, see?
Yeah, I see.
Guys with no permits for storing whiskey can get arrested. Suppose you take it from there, Mac.
Hey, wait a minute. Now I get your voice. Tiny. Hello. Hello, Tiny. Hello, Nope. Hung up.
Another tip?
From Tiny, the writer I got mixed up with. Just recognized the voice. He must have had a falling out with Hurlbut. He just squealed on him.
Something hot?
Hurlburt's got 70 cases of whiskey in a garage on Melrose. To coin a phrase, is that hot enough for you?
It's hot enough for anyone, including the police. Dan Hurlbut is arrested for storing whiskey without a permit. Then the police begin their relentless questioning and finally secure the 3-page confession which wipes up what's left of the lottery racket in Atlanta. And then one afternoon, you take a stroll out to see your old friends, the Sampsons.
Hi, Jeannie. Still at the Weeding?
Yeah, place is a mess. Want some buttermilk?
I could be persuaded. Joe home?
Oh, not yet. He stopped by to get his paycheck. I bought a new teapot today. And
Well, here's its chief depositor now.
Oh.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Mac. Good to see you. Hello, baby. How about a kiss, huh?
Give it to me.
What?
The $3 for the bank.
You settle for 2?
Joe Sampson, you...
Now, take it easy, honey. I saw these flowers downtown, and I thought they'd, well, kind of brighten up the place while those ones you planted take their own sweet time blooming.
Oh, Joe, you big lug.
And then, well, I had to stop and get Mac here a couple of cigars to say thanks, didn't I?
In just a moment, we'll read you a telegram from Keeler McCartney of the Atlanta Constitution with the final outcome of tonight's big story. Of all America's leading cigarettes, only one is outstanding. Only one is outstanding. The longer, finer cigarette in the distinguished red package. Pall Mall. Good to look at, good to feel, good to taste, and good to smoke. For Pall Mall's greater length of traditionally fine, mellow tobaccos filters the smoke on the way to your throat. That's important. Yes, Pall Mall's greater length filters the smoke on the way to your throat. Gives you that smoothness, mildness, and satisfaction no other cigarette offers you. Remember,
Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes. Outstanding. And they are mild. Now we read you that telegram from Keeler McCartney of the Atlanta Constitution.
Previously unable to get any evidence against lottery boss in tonight's big story, arresting him on a liquor charge was the only way to legally hold him. Once in custody, he was persuaded to confess that he employed 1,200 people in Atlanta's $7 million lottery ring. A 15-count indictment was secured against him, and he was sentenced to 6 years on the chain gang at Tatnall State Prison in Reedsville. My sincere appreciation for tonight's Pall Mall Award.
Thank you, Mr. McCartney. The makers of Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes are proud to have named you the winner of the Pall Mall $500 Award for notable service in the field of journalism. Listen again next week, same time, same station, when Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes will present another big story. A big story from the front pages of the Los Angeles Herald-Express. Byline, Pat Foley. A big story about a meek little man with a mania for marriage and murder. The Big Story is produced by Bernard J. Proctor, with music by Vladimir Zelinsky. Tonight's program was written by Gail Ingram. Your narrator was Bob Sloan, and George Petrie played the part of Keeler McCartney. In order to protect the names of people actually involved in tonight's authentic Big Story, the names of all characters in the dramatization were changed, with the exception of the reporter, Mr. McCartney. This is Ernest Chappell speaking for the makers of Pall Mall Famous Cigarettes.
Yes, Ernest Chappell, the same one that you hear on Quiet Please. The Big Story, 77 years ago, July 21st, 1948, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Science fiction up next, a wonderful rendition of the Robert Heinlein story, The Green Hills of Earth.
Ladies and gentlemen, last year's traffic death toll was 37,500, a 7% increase over 1950. The National Safety Council believes that the best way to promote safety on the road is for each of us to know and obey traffic laws, to read and heed traffic signs. So be careful. The life you save may be your own.
Now an episode of the CBS Radio Workshop. We've aired these types of shows before, and I think you will find this one quite compelling. The Workshop did a wonderful adaptation of The Green Hills of Earth, the Robert Heinlein science fiction story, and this was 68 years ago, July 21st, 1957.
The CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind. Today we challenge that imagination with The Green Hills of Earth. Original story, Robert Heinlein. Radio adaptation, Draper Lewis. Music, Clark Harrington. Star, Everett Sloan.
This is the story of Reisling. Reisling. No first name, no middle initial. By vocation, he was one of the best jetmen who ever worked his crew aboard the early cargo rockets that supplied the planets deep in outer space. His avocation? Well, anyone born in the 21st century, I'm sure, has quoted his poems, sung his songs, even with luck, heard him singing them himself in some wind-torn, forsaken tavern on the borders of a spaceport, somewhere out there, beyond the stars.
What's the matter, Reisling? Forget your own miserable words? Go on with the song.
No. I seem to have a strange parched feeling in my throat, induced by a sudden lack of liquid refreshment.
Hey, let's have another round over here and give Reisling a double.
Reisling was no beauty, believe me, with his grease-smeared, tattered space coveralls. His hair looked as though he'd been caught in the backwash of a jet, and he had a permanent case of sun itch that he scratched continually. But that was long before he became the almost legendary figure that you know him as today. One or two of his poems had appeared in the papers, and his first set of space ballads had been published with no particular fanfare. Certainly nothing like the reviews his later efforts would produce when he was hailed as the literary giant of the spaceways. You've heard a lot of stories about Reisling, the kind of stories that are always written about anyone who becomes a legend, a giant. But this is the story of how he lived and died. This is the way it happened.
Tell me not of that Martian maiden. Let her eyes not burn in my heart. For I only know...
Well?
Well, what?
How's it end?
I don't know. I've never been able to finish it. How about that drink you promised?
Just take it easy. The poor girl's only got two hands. Give her a chance.
I'd be delighted to give her a chance.
That's strictly hands off, Reisling. It's marked private property, Captain T.D. Davidson.
Davidson? Don't make me laugh. He may be a captain when he's aboard the Goshawk, but the minute he sets foot off the spaceport, he's just another company member like you or me or any of the crew here. So she's Davidson's little starburst. Well.
I know I wouldn't want to tangle with him. He nurses a grudge for a long time.
Take the rule book out of his hands and he's finished. Captain Davidson and I have had a showdown coming for a long time. And this time it's going to be Reisling who'll make the good captain wish we'd never met.
Rocket ship Goshawk landing at Spaceport 3.
Well, now's as good a time as any, Reisling.
Same thought just occurred to me, too.
Rocket ship Goshawk landing at Spaceport 3.
Let's get out there. Maybe he needs a few new guys on his crew.
The way Davidson treats him, he probably needs a whole new crew. Coming, Reisling?
I wouldn't miss it for the world. Greg, lend me your pocket tape machine a minute and tell the dock boss to hold me a job on the Goshawk. He'll do it if you tell him it's for me. And if you run into the stalwart Captain Davidson, tell him... never mind. I'll tell him myself. Now, give me that tape machine.
Stand clear for landing. Stand clear for landing.
Every jetman in the business knew about the hatred that existed between Davidson of the Goshawk and Reisling. A hatred whose origin was buried someplace deep in the history of those first years when cargo rockets began to run between Earth and the solar cities on Mars, on Venus, and Saturn and the Moon. Davidson was a symbol of the company, and Reisling had little or no respect for either one.
Davidson here.
Reisling, sir.
What is it, Reisling?
Well, according to the rule book, sir, a member of the crew is obliged to report any deficiency in the equipment of the ship. I would like to file an official report on jet number 2, sir. It doesn't fit. The cadmium dampers are warped.
According to the rule book, Reisling, a report is to be made to the chief, who in turn will pass the information on to me.
I did, but he says they'll do. He's wrong, sir.
Reisling, we'll drop you off at the next spaceport if you feel the equipment and personnel is not competent.
Oh, Captain, I couldn't deprive you of the best jetman on the run, sir. No, I wouldn't dream of such a thing.
Captain, what do you think about Jet 2?
It'll hold.
The ceiling's pretty thin, sir. If anything goes, they'll fry down there.
I said it would hold. Increase the jet drive on all jets.
Reisling. You were talking about the Grand Canal on Mars. Is it really as fantastic as everyone says it is?
Well, it's like something you've never seen before in your life. I remember I wanted to write a song about it, but I couldn't. It always escaped me. I couldn't seem to find a beginning. Just like I can't seem to find an ending for the green hills of Earth. Maybe if I go back again, then I can finish it. But right now, I've got something more important to finish. Throw the intercom for me, will you?
What are you going to do with my tape machine? What did you record back there in the tavern?
Just throw the switch like anyone who can take an order.
Reisling, don't ride him anymore. You'll make it rough on all of us. He's like that.
I assure you he won't lay a finger on anyone after I get through with him.
Reisling, leave me out of this personal feud of yours.
Who said anything about you, Greg? Okay, switch. This is Reisling to Davidson. Reisling to Davidson.
Davidson here.
Sir, I want to report a stowaway in the jet room.
What do you mean a stowaway? There can't be a stowaway on the ship. It was searched by security before we took off.
Nevertheless, there is a stowaway, sir. Just a minute. Turn up the intercom power. I want to make sure it picks up this tape good and clear.
Reisling, if there's a stowaway down there, I want to know who he is.
Just a minute, sir. All right, now, turn on the tape. Who did you say you were?
I'm Kathy, sir. My last name is McCune.
Kathy McCune? You know, you're very pretty.
But I've never met you before.
Maybe you know a friend of mine. His name is Captain Davidson.
Reisling, are you out of your mind?
Shut up and listen.
I know
this is
Captain
the good part.
Davidson, but he's a much, much older man. He's been very nice to me in a stern, fatherly sort of way.
Of that beautiful creature, I'm very sure.
But I'd rather have you to be nice to me, sir.
Oh. Well, I guess there's no substitute for the real thing.
Oh, darling. Reisling.
You jerk, he'll throw the book at you. The whole crew can tune in on this intercom.
That's the general idea, boy. They'll all know what a phony he is. Father Davidson, Captain Davidson, you're still there, aren't you? Sir? Captain Davidson?
It cut you off.
Well, old rule book's finally made a slip. Or maybe he doesn't know I can log him for switching off the intercom during a flight.
It looks like you're getting off at the next spaceport, and that's for sure.
Man, I wish I'd been up there to see his face. I'll bet he... What's that?
There's a leak. Something's leaking.
Look at Jet 2 control.
We gotta get out of here. We can't stop it now.
Hand me those tools. I can try.
But the jets are on full power.
Tell Davidson to cut to a quarter. I'll stop that leak.
Captain Davidson! Captain Davidson! Reisling is still off. Davidson hasn't turned it on again.
Well, then get up there and tell him to cut the jet.
But you can't stop that leak without a shield.
It's got to be done or the whole ship will blow. Come on, move! Move fast!
Hello, Reisling. They wouldn't let me into the hospital till now. How's it going?
Oh, not bad, Greg.
Captain Davidson wanted to come, too. Well, he's really sorry about what happened. Wants to bring a specialist in from Earth.
Maybe he hasn't heard the final report. Prognosis negative. Total blindness, resulting from radioactivity.
The gas hog's been junked. He has another ship.
I'm not interested. I haven't got enough time to worry about people like Captain T.D. Davidson. I have too much to do. Much too much.
I don't understand.
Well, it's just that I suddenly have so many places I want to see. I want to go to. Remember in the power room? Remember I told you that I couldn't write anything about the Grand Canal?
I remember.
Well, suddenly it's come into focus. I've been back there a lot of times. Now I really see it. I finally have it in my head, in my heart, in my fingers. As time and space come bending back to shape this star-specked scene, the tranquil tears of tragic joy still spread their silver sheen. Along the Grand Canal still soar the fragile towers of truth. Their fairy grace
defends this place of beauty high aloof. Bone-tired the race that raised the towers, their labors time ignores. Long gone the gods who shed the tears that lap these crystal shores. Slow beats the time-worn heart of Mars beneath an icy sky. The thin air whispers voicelessly that all who live must die. Her lacy spires of truth sing beauty's madrigal, and she herself will ever dwell along the Grand Canal. Yes, she herself will ever dwell along the Grand Canal.
Well, there it is, Greg boy. Now I can see it. Ironic, isn't it?
Thanks, Reisling. Thanks.
When he got out of the hospital, Reisling really began to travel. Space had lost its meaning. He went from the moon to Venus and back again, to the Grand Canal on Mars. Any spaceship was his ship, any spaceport his home. And through the long years, the green hills of Earth grew in length, in magnificence. Wherever he went, the song went with him.
We rot in the moles of Venus. We retch at her tainted breath, and foul are her flooded jungles, or crawl with unclean death.
Reisling cataloged the solar system in words and music, and always he sang of his longing to return once more to his home.
We've tried each spinning space mote and reckoned its true worth. Take us back again to the homes of men on the cool green hills of Earth.
No one can really trace the source of all the verses he wrote, but we do know where the final verse was written and when. Now a spaceship headed for the Great Lakes base on Earth, and Reisling decided at last to go home.
Now, look, Captain, I know I'm out as far as a crew job is concerned, but all I want is a ride back home. You can carry me if you want to. There's a distressed spaceman clause in the books.
That clause was written for men who missed their ships, not for itinerant space hobos.
Captain Hicks, I haven't been back home since my last trip as a signed-on member of a crew. I believe, sir, the law says I'm entitled to a trip back.
That was years ago. You've used up your chances. I'm sorry, Reisling. The answer is no.
Stand by for blast-off. Stand by for blast-off. Destination, Earth. Destination, Earth.
Reisling, you comfortable? No, smuggling you aboard wasn't easy.
You didn't think I'd pay for a ride on this bucket, did you?
Okay. Well, no one ever comes down here into the jet room anyhow. But you'll have to wait till the ship's unloaded at Great Lakes before I can get you off.
Jack, can you see Earth through the ports?
Yep.
How does she look?
As pretty and green as she always looks, Reisling. As pretty and green.
Let the sweet, fresh breezes heal me as they roam around the girth of our lovely mother planet on the cool green hills of Earth.
Control room issuing landing order for Port 6, sir. We're doing it 0845.
I'd like to trim an hour off that. The old man would certainly appreciate it, I know.
Captain Hicks, we're pulling a heavy load.
It doesn't matter with a new ship like this. Let's see what we can do about setting a freight ship record this run. Full power on all jets.
Yes, Captain. Full power on all jets. Boy, that's one eager beaver that's feeling his oats. I'll bet he's out to cop some kind of record.
Well, I get over that in a year or so. How's your shielding?
Best you've seen in a long time. Oh, I forgot. Here. Feel these dials? Power?
Huh?
Radiation guide?
Yep.
Direct tap to the pile?
Pretty neat.
Sure, one man can handle the whole operation.
Say, these feel like the old hand-dumping plates we used to have.
I'll accept the links. I unship them because they hid the dials.
You ought to have them shipped. You might need them.
They're available if I need them. But I won't.
Well, give this bucket another year or so pulling such a heavy load, and she'll start giving at the seams a little. Wait a minute. Isn't that a leak?
I thought you'd hear it soon. Now, listen. There you are, another new item. Relines automatically and kills the leak.
Control to power, control to power. We're showing a leak up here.
Everything's under control.
Okay, Jack. The skipper doesn't want to cut power unless it's entirely necessary.
Don't worry, sir. This ship can take it. I don't think we'll...
Jack! Jack, where is it? I know that sound. Something's gonna blow. Jack! Jack, where is it? Show me where it happened, quick!
The door. The safety door. I can get out of here and close it from the outside.
Okay, Jack. Don't worry.
Control room to power. Control room to power.
Jack! You can't stay in here.
Jack!
The radioactivity will kill you. Get out. That's an order.
The captain ordered you to keep me off this bucket, and you didn't obey him.
This is Hicks. This is Captain Hicks. Jack, what's happened down there?
Reisling, get out of here.
That jet's got to be spilled, Jack, or it's going to take the other two with it.
Jack, this is Captain Hicks.
Just find the control panel. If I can only see. Reisling! Reisling!
Jack!
Control calling power room. Control calling power room.
Power room.
This control, Hicks speaking.
Spilling jet 3. Emergency.
Is this McDougal?
McDougal is dead. This is Reisling.
Reisling? I ordered you off this ship. This'll mean jail for the rest of your life.
Keep all safety doors closed, sir. This place is hot. I'm spilling jet 3.
Reisling, there are gloves and a suit in the locker near the door. Can you hear me?
I don't need a suit, sir. Just my hands. Keep the crew out of their quarters. The jet blew while the door was open. And don't let anyone ever tell you that hand dumping is old-fashioned.
Reisling, I'm sending the doctor down. He'll be waiting to take you into decon. And we'll have an ambulance waiting at
Captain Hicks, stop it, will you? I've been around. I know what's happened to me.
Reisling, I'm sorry. I'm glad you're aboard.
Captain Hicks, do me a favor, will you?
Anything, Reisling.
The tape recorder started rolling.
It's on, Reisling. What else?
Send this along to a friend of mine. You'll find his name in my instrument case in the crew quarters. He'll know what to do with it.
I'll take care of it, Reisling.
Let the sweet, fresh breezes heal me as they roll around the girth of our lovely mother planet of the cool green hills of Earth. We pray for one last landing on the globe that gave us birth. Let us rest our eyes on the fleet skies
Reisling. Reisling.
and the cool green hill of Earth, and the cool green hill of Earth.
You've been listening to the CBS Radio Workshop. Today's presentation, The Green Hills of Earth. Our star, Everett Sloan, sang and acted the part of Reisling. Our narrator, Barry Kroger. The cast, Jackson Beck, Danny Ocko, Ian Martin, Louis Volkman, Bill Lipton. The program originated in New York, was produced and directed by Dee Engelbach. This is the CBS Radio Network.
A wonderful production with some of the best actors out of New York at the time. 68 years ago, July 21st, 1957, the CBS Radio Workshop. Coming up next, Lum and Abner.
Daily, the broadcasts of Radio Free Europe and Radio Free Asia strike through the Iron Curtain, bringing the truth about the free world to the captive peoples behind it. Help send a message by giving to the 1952 Crusade for Freedom.
We wrap up this Monday edition of the program with an episode of Lum and Abner as we figure out how the baby's going to get its name. That's coming up now, an episode from 83 years ago, July 21st, 1942.
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. I'm sure all you Lum and Abner listeners will agree that there are mighty few things that can cause you to feel more downright miserable than a summer cold. So if you're unlucky enough to have a summer cold now, we offer these few suggestions which we believe can help you feel a lot better. Just take care of yourself, get more rest than usual, eat sensibly, dress wisely, get ample vitamins daily, and take Alka-Seltzer for relief of much of your discomfort. Alka-Seltzer can make such a difference in the way you feel because it acts fast to relieve the headache and that dull, achy feeling of a cold. Remember, too, if a raw, raspy throat's a part of your cold distress, Alka-Seltzer also makes a mighty soothing, comforting gargle. So, if you have a cold now, let Alka-Seltzer ease your discomfort and help you feel better. You can get modern, effervescent Alka-Seltzer at all drugstores, and remember, that large family-size package is the most economical. Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the matter of who's going to take care of the old fellow's foundling baby has been temporarily settled by a compromise. Abner's wife Elizabeth and Lum have agreed to take care of him on alternate days. This is one of the days Lum is to have him. And so, as we look in on the little community, we find the baby asleep in his crib in the feed room of the Jot 'em Down store and library. Lum and Abner are busy writing names for the baby on little slips of paper. Listen.
Wesley. That's a good one. Write that down.
Yeah, Wesley. W-E-S-L-E. Yeah, all right. Next.
Orlando.
O-R-L-A-N-D-O. Yeah, got it.
Sebastian, huh? Know the boy named Sebastian.
For the land sakes. S-E... How do you spell Sebastian?
Better make that Sam.
Oh, yes, Sam. S-A-M. Go on.
Lum.
Now, wait a minute. We already got Lum wrote down on one of these slips of paper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot, I reckon. How many names we got there now?
I don't know. I've been so busy writing, I ain't had time to count them.
Well, I believe that's enough.
It ought to be. My fingers are so tired I can't hardly hold a pencil.
About all I can think of anyway. Well, there's quite a pile of them there.
Did I write Charlie Abner down on one of them slips?
That's the first one you done.
Oh, yeah.
Now, pick them all up. Wait a minute. There's some on the floor there. Pick them up, too.
Oh, the wind must have blown them off the table, I reckon.
There ain't no wind blowing today.
Oh.
You're just careless, that's all. Hurry up and pick them up so we can get the baby's name settled once and for all.
Yeah, I'm getting them. I reckon that's all of them, ain't it?
Wait a minute. Here's a couple more over here. Now, I'll get them.
Oh, yeah.
For goodness sakes, look at this floor, Abner. Look how dirty it is.
Dirty? Why, I swept it out just this morning, just like I do every morning.
Yeah, but sweeping out ain't good enough no more.
Ain't good enough?
Not on the days the baby's around the store. Beginning today, I want you to scrub the floor, Abner.
Scrub it?
Yeah, as soon as we get through with this name business, I want you to get a bucket of water and scrub the floor.
Well, now, just a minute now, Lum.
You don't want the baby to get germs from crawling around on the floor, do you?
Why, no, of course I don't.
All right, then. Do as I say.
Well, now, Lum, you ought to do the scrubbing. I do all the other work around here, sweeping and washing the windows and all such as that.
I'd love to do it, Abner, love to the worst way. But as long as this is our day to have the baby at the store, I've got to take care of him.
Well, you can do it while he's sleeping.
Well, he's liable to wake up. No, I don't want to take no chances with him.
Well, now, if he wakes up, I can go back
Abner,
there.
we ain't going to discuss that no more. Besides, you know how it brings on my rheumatisms to run my hand down a bucket of cold water.
Yeah,
Just can't do it.
I've heard you say that, yeah.
So we just consider the matter settled, closed, and ended, and exterminated. Now, let's get on with this name drawing thing.
Well, all right, but I still don't see why I have to be the one that does.
Stop grumbling and get my hat off the wall over there.
Your hat? Whereabouts you going?
I ain't going nowhere. We're just going to use the hat for the drawing.
Oh.
We'll put all the slips of paper with them names wrote on them in the hat. Then we'll take it into the feed room, let the baby reach in the hat, and whatever name he pulls out, that's it. That'll be his name from now on.
Oh, I see how it works now. Yeah, that's a good idea, Well, do we blindfold him first?
No, we won't need to do that.
Well, now, we don't want him to cheat now long.
Well, he can't read none of the names no way, so it don't matter whether he can see them or not.
Oh, yeah, that's right, ain't it? Well, here, I'll get your hat for you.
All I hope is that the baby don't pull out the name of Orlando. Kind of sorry I put that in there. Don't seem to fit him, no way.
No, that's awful.
It's better than Charlie Abner, though. Or that name Pearl wanted to give him, Avery.
Yeah, here's your hat, here. Doggy, that's a new one, ain't it, Lum?
No, it's just my Sunday hat.
Oh.
I ain't wore it much.
No, it looks brand new.
Been hanging on the wall there in the parlor.
Yeah.
So one I bought at the county seat about a year ago.
Oh. Where'd you get it? At the Mina Emporium?
Oh, yeah. I always buy most of my clothes to Mina Emporium. Especially when I want something fancy.
Oh, yeah, it's a nice store.
You got all the slips in the hat now?
Yeah. Come on, let's go back there and let little Charlie draw his name.
Well, wait a minute. We can't do it right now. He's asleep. I don't want to wake him up to do it.
Well, couldn't we just go back there and see if he ain't awake just a little bit long?
No, it ain't good for babies to do that to him, Abner.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you run across the street and see if the mail's come? I think I seen the mail hag just a little while ago.
Well, I don't want to leave now, Lum. What if he wakes up while I'm gone? Then I'd miss out on a drawing.
No, you won't. If he wakes up, I'll wait till you get back.
Promise?
Why, sure.
All right, then. I'll be back just quick as I can, then.
Yeah, hurry up. You're more than likely to be awake time you get back.
I hope so.
Let's see now. Where's some paper? Yeah, here we are. Rock-a-bye, baby, in the treetop. I need his pencils down.
I hold my strap.
Oh, it's you, Mousy. Granny, you scared me for a minute there. I thought you was Abner.
No, sir. I just saw Abner running across the street.
Yeah, I know.
Lum, could I have a few minutes of your time?
No, can't you see I'm awful busy right now, Mousy?
Well, this might be the opportunity that you're looking for, Lum.
I can't help it, Mousy. I'm too busy right now.
What are you doing there, Lum?
Oh, just something. Don't bother me, Mousy.
Gee, you sure work fast, don't you? What are you writing little Lum on all those slips of paper for?
Mousy, stop looking over my shoulder.
Well, what's that for, Lum?
Oh, nothing. Why don't you go home and run your detective agency?
Well, that's what I wanted to see you about, Lum. See, I'm retiring, and I want to sell the agency.
Retiring?
Yes, sir. Well, I just feel like I've given the best years of my life to that detective agency, and, well, now I just want to get out of the old harness for a while.
What do you mean, the best years of your life? You just had the agency for a couple of weeks.
Yes, sir, but, well, see, we detectives live awful fast, Lum. Do you want to buy the agency?
No, I wouldn't be interested, Mousy.
I'll throw in my assistant, Operator XW104, alias the Blindfolded Wildcat, alias Cedric Weehunt.
I don't care if you throw in Dick Tracy and Superman. I still don't want it. Now run along, Mousy. I'm busy.
Oh, I see you're putting those slips into that hat there, aren't you? You going to have a drawing or a raffle of some kind, Lum?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it won't work out right, though, Lum, that-a-way. The way you're fixing it, why, the only name that can be drawn out of there is Little Lum.
Mousy, I know what I'm doing. Now run on home or someplace. Uh-oh, there comes Abner back. Listen, Mousy, don't say nothing about this to Abner. It's sort of a joke I'm playing on him.
A joke?
Yeah.
Oh, what kind of a joke, Lum?
Never mind. Just hush up, Knuckles. Here he comes.
Yes, sir. No, there weren't no mail, Lum. Has the baby woke up yet?
No, he ain't, Abner, so you ain't missed nothing.
Oh, well, good. Well, howdy, Mousy. Hello, Abner. Say, Lum, you must have been mistook about seeing that mail hack, for Dick Huddleston said they ain't been here yet today.
He did?
Yeah.
Well, I must have saw something else then.
Don't get, wait a minute, Lum. Listen, the baby's awake, hearing crying.
Granny, he is crying.
Yeah, he's
I
awake.
better see what's wrong with him.
Well, wait a minute, don't you want the hat?
Not yet. Wait till I get him stopped crying.
Oh, well, hurry up. Say, Abner, would you like to get into the detective business? No, Mousy, not me. It's a great opportunity for a young fellow, Abner. I'd help him make a name for himself. Make a name for himself? Wait a minute, I believe you give me an idea, Mousy. Oh, gee, well, then you buy my agency? Buy your agency? I ain't buying no agency. I'm just going to make a name for somebody. Here, grab some of that paper there and tear it up in little strips, Mousy. Hurry up now, and then help me write Charlie Abner on every one of them. Come on now, hurry up before Lum gets back. Are you playing a joke on Lum, too? Yeah, that's it, a joke, I think. Hurry up. Charlie Abner, hurry up. Write him down there fast. Charlie Abner. Well, exactly how does this joke work, Abner? Now, don't talk so much, Mousy. Just put them slips in that hat right there. Put them on top of all the others there. Yes, sir. Oh, wait a minute. The baby stopped crying. Lum will be coming back now. Yeah, that's it, Mousy. Spread them around on the top that way good. Cover up all them others in there. Now, don't say nothing to Lum about this. No, sir. Yeah, mind out. Here he comes. He's bringing the baby out here. Quiet.
I don't believe there was a thing wrong with the little rascal, Abner. I think he just wanted to see me. Look at him smile.
Well, hello there, little Charlie, or little feller. Hello there. Dog, did you hear that? He said, hello, Abner, just as plain.
He never done no such a thing.
I believe he likes that name, Abner. But wouldn't it be funny if that was a name he'd drawed out of there? Charlie Abner?
Yeah, that would be funny. I ain't much worried about it, though.
Huh?
Little Lum's too smart to draw a name like that, ain't you? There, he even said so himself, you hear?
Lum, you wouldn't want to bet nothing on that, would you?
Well, I ain't a betting feller, Abner, but I might wager a little on this. What'll we bet?
Let's see, I know. If he don't draw the name of Charlie Abner, I'll have to scrub the floor.
All right, and if he don't draw Little Lum, I'll scrub it.
All right, Doggy, that's a deal. Come on, hold the baby over here near the hat so they can draw a name now.
Yeah, come on, little feller.
Yeah, hold
You're
it
about to pick yourself out a fine new name. No, don't grab the hat. You'll spill all the names. Hold on to the hat, Abner.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, hold it up higher so me and you can't see what name he's picking.
Yeah, that's a good idea. How's this?
That's good. All right, put your little hand in there.
Yeah, sort of put his hand in there for him.
That's it. That's right.
Has he got one yet?
I don't think so. Wait a minute. He's got one there.
Yeah.
That'll be it.
I don't get what does it say, Lon? What does it
Just
say?
a minute, let me read it. Well, I do know.
Is it Charlie Abner?
Get a bucket of water, Abner.
Huh?
Get a bucket of water and 2 scrub brushes.
2 scrub brushes?
Yeah, 1 for each one of us.
Well, what name did he draw, Lon?
There it is.
Huh?
Mina Emporium, size 7 1/4.
Say, folks, tell me, how would you get out of a predicament like this? You come home from work feeling as hungry as a bear, and you find that friend wife has prepared your favorite foods. So you throw caution to the winds and eat, and almost before you've finished, you begin to feel a little sorry. Your stomach's already beginning to rebel. Well, sir, when you have occasional after-eating distress, that's just the time to call Alka-Seltzer to the rescue. You see, Alka-Seltzer does more than simply relieve that full, stuffy, uncomfortable feeling in the stomach. It also helps reduce any excess gastric acidity which may exist. Take Alka-Seltzer for sour, upset stomach, heartburn, and occasional acid indigestion. Now, if you don't have any Alka-Seltzer, you can get it quickly at any drugstore.
All those names in there, and he picked out the size of the hat. 83 years ago, July 21st, 1942, Lum and Abner here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Join us tomorrow for Westerns. Fort Laramie, Gunsmoke, Roy Rogers, Tales of the Texas Rangers, and Rosemary. Have yourself a great Monday. See you Tuesday for more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.